I have watched you pace the hallways of your current life until the floorboards themselves have memorized the rhythm of your anxiety. My beloved child, I have been sitting across the kitchen table from you during those long, silent hours of the night when the only sound is the ticking of the clock and the heavy thrum of your heartbeat. I see the stacks of papers, the listings you have bookmarked, and the way your breath catches in your throat every time you think about the cost of moving. You feel as though you are standing on the edge of a great canyon, looking across at a land that looks beautiful but feels impossible to reach. I am here to tell you that the bridge is already built. You simply haven't stepped onto it yet. Your current walls have become too small for the person I am calling you to be. You have felt the friction, haven't you? The sudden discomfort in a place that used to feel like home, the strange sense of being a stranger in your own living room. These are not signs of failure or restlessness without cause. They are the divine nudges of my hand, gently loosening your roots so that I can transplant you into a soil where you will truly flourish. I know the terror that comes with the word relocation. I know the way your mind spirals into the what-ifs. What if the money runs out? What if I am lonelier there than I am here? What if I make a mistake and cannot come back? Peace, my child. Be still and know that I am the architect of your days. I do not call my children into the wilderness to abandon them. I call them into the wilderness to show them my glory in ways the city walls could never reveal. This decision you are facing, this move that feels like a mountain, is actually a gateway. You are not just changing an address. You are stepping into a sanctuary I have specifically designed for your next season. I have already walked the streets of that new neighborhood. I have already stood in the rooms where you will sleep, and I have filled the atmosphere with my presence. I have commanded the angels to guard the thresholds of that new dwelling place. You worry about the finances, counting every penny and finding the sum lacking. Do you not realize that I own the cattle on 1,000 hills? Do you not trust that if I have prompted the move, I have already signed the check? Provision is a shadow that follows obedience. As you take the first step, as you sign the papers, as you pack the first box, you will see the coincidences begin to align. A sudden discount, an unexpected gift, a favor from a stranger. These are my fingerprints on your journey. Do not let the spirit of fear whisper that you are doing this alone. Loneliness is a lie that the enemy uses to keep you paralyzed. You fear that in a new place, you will be forgotten. But how can you be forgotten when I am the one carrying you? I am placing people in your path already, neighbors who will become family, friends who are currently praying for someone just like you to move next door. You are the answer to someone else's prayer, even as you seek the answer to your own. I see the specific details of your heart, the small things you haven't even told anyone else, the way you want the light to hit the floor in the morning, the need for a quiet corner to pray, the hope for a kitchen where laughter can finally drown out the silence. I have heard those unspoken whispers. I am the God of the details. This move is a miracle in motion, a physical manifestation of the internal shift I have been working within you for years. You are leaving behind the shadows of the past, the memories that have become heavy chains, and the expectations of people who only knew an older version of you. In this new place, you will be free to breathe. You will find that the air is different there. It is charged with the scent of my promises. Do not look back at the burning bridges. They were only meant to light your way forward. Take my hand now. Let the worry drain out of your fingers and into my palms. I am your foundation, and whether you are here or there, you are home in me. But I have a specific mission for you in this new territory, a specific joy that can only be found once you turn the key in that new lock. The transition may feel like a storm, but I am the master of the waves, and I am steering your ship into a harbor of peace. Believe in the miracle of this transition. Trust the timing that feels so chaotic to you but is perfectly synchronized in my heaven. You are ready. I have made you ready. The door is opening now, and all you must do is walk through it with your head held high, knowing that I am before you, behind you, and beside you every step of the way. As you wrap each glass in paper and tape the boxes shut, do not feel as though you are merely packing away objects. You are gathering the lessons of a season that has fulfilled its purpose. I see the way you linger in the doorway of the kitchen, remembering the meals shared and the prayers whispered over the steam of a morning cup of tea. It is natural to feel a tug at your heart, for your soul leaves a footprint in every space it inhabits. But I am asking you to lift your gaze from the floorboards you have known so well to the horizon I have painted specifically for your arrival. Your roots have grown deep here, but they have also become slightly bound by the limits of this particular soil. To grow taller, to branch out into the fullness of the person I have designed you to be, you must be transplanted into a ground that is rich with the specific nutrients your future requires. Think of the new hallways that await your footsteps. They are silent now, but soon they will echo with a different kind of laughter, a more resonant joy that you cannot yet imagine. I have already walked through every room of your new dwelling. I have blessed the thresholds and whispered peace into the very rafters. There is a window there where the light hits the floor at just the right angle in the late afternoon, a reminder that my grace is always timely and always beautiful. You worry about the logistics, the heavy lifting, and the exhaustion of the physical move, but I am the one who carries the weight of the universe. Do you not think I can carry the weight of your transition? I am organizing the details that seem like a tangled knot to you. I am aligning the hearts of those you will meet, the neighbor who needs the specific encouragement only you can provide, the local shopkeeper who will become a friend, and the strangers who will soon feel like family. This move is not an exile, it is an expansion. You are not losing your history, you are taking the best parts of it to seed a new garden. I know the fear that whispers in the quiet moments, the what if that questions if the grass will truly be greener. My child, the grass is greenest where I lead you, for I am the living water. I do not lead my own into a desert without providing a well. The discomfort you feel is merely the stretching of your tent pegs. You have outgrown the old shell, and while it was cozy and familiar, it can no longer contain the magnitude of the blessing I am pouring out. Look at your hands as you labor through this change. They are my hands. When you feel weary, lean into the invisible strength I provide. I am weaving a tapestry of providence that connects your past to this vibrant future. Every box moved is a step of faith. Every item discarded is a weight released. You are becoming lighter, more agile, and more attuned to the frequency of my voice. In the stillness of the new neighborhood, you will hear me more clearly than ever before. There is a sacred assignment waiting for you there, a work that could not be done here. Do not fear the unfamiliar sounds of a new house at night. They are the house settling into the honor of hosting you. I have marked this move in the stars, and I have prepared the hearts of those you leave behind to find their own new paths, just as I am preparing yours. You are part of a grand design, a celestial choreography where every move is calculated for the maximum expression of love. Deep within you, there is a spark of excitement that the world cannot dampen. Fan that spark. Let it become a fire of anticipation. You are not just changing an address. You are entering a sanctuary I have custom built for the next chapter of our journey together. We are doing this as one. You are never solitary in your searching or your settling. I am the architect of your peace, and I promise you, when you finally rest your head in that new place, you will breathe a sigh of relief so deep it will feel like a homecoming you have been waiting for your entire life. This is the beginning of a revelation, a discovery of hidden strengths and untapped reservoirs of grace. Keep your eyes on me, and let the landscape shift as it must. The destination is certain, and the guide is faithful. As you stand in the rooms that have held your laughter and your tears for so long, do not mistake the echo of the past for a command to stay. I am breathing into the very walls you are about to inhabit, infusing the mortar with a peace that surpasses your current understanding. Think of the keys you will soon hold not merely as metal, but as instruments of opening doors to conversations you have not yet had, to morning rituals that will refresh your spirit in ways the old light never could. I see the way you look at the dust motes dancing in the afternoon sun and wonder if you will find beauty in the new shadows. I tell you, the light there has been waiting for centuries to touch your face. You feel the weight of the boxes, the physical strain of sorting through a life's accumulation, but I am using this process to sort through the chambers of your heart as well. We are deciding together what is essential and what is weight. That old resentment you've tucked away in the back of a closet, leave it here. That fear of not being enough that followed you from room to room, it has no place in the blueprint of the sanctuary I have prepared. I am making room for expansiveness. I am stretching the borders of your influence and your intimacy. Notice how your breathing changes when you envision the new threshold. That slight catch in your throat is not just anxiety, it is the soul's recognition of a divine appointment. You have often felt like a nomad, even while sitting still, searching for a sense of belonging that the world could never quite provide. This move is a physical manifestation of the internal homecoming I have been orchestrating since before you were born. In the quiet hours of the night, when the house is still and the reality of the change feels overwhelming, remember that I am the stillness. I am the silence between the heartbeats of your worry. I have already walked the hallways of your new home. I have blessed the floorboards and whispered to the windows. I have positioned the trees outside to provide the exact shade you will need during your summer of transformation. You are worried about the logistics, the finances, the timing, and the fatigue, but I am the Lord of the harvest and the master of the way. I have aligned the hearts of those you will encounter, the movers, the neighbors, the strangers who will become friends. Each interaction is a thread in the tapestry of this transition. When you feel the urge to look back, do so with gratitude, but do not let your gaze linger so long that you lose sight of the horizon. The golden hour of your life is not behind you. It is rising over the roofline of the place you have yet to sleep in. Trust the rhythm of this release. As you unhook the pictures from the walls, realize that you are also unhooking yourself from old expectations that no longer serve the person you are becoming. This is a pruning for the sake of a more vibrant bloom. I am with you in the clutter. I am with you in the empty, echoing spaces. I am with you when you find that lost trinket under the radiator and when you discover the strength to carry the heaviest load. You are being transplanted into richer soil, not because the old soil was bad, but because your roots have grown too large for the container. I require more space for the grace I intend to pour through you. Listen to the wind as it whistles through the eaves. It is a song of beckoning. You are not being cast out. You are being invited forward. The neighborhood you are entering is more than a geographic location. It is a spiritual climate where your specific gifts will finally find their true resonance. There is a garden there, perhaps not one of earth and seed, but a garden of opportunities that only your hands can tend. Do not be afraid of the strangeness of the new sounds at night or the different way the air smells. I am the atmosphere. I am the familiar in the midst of the foreign. We are building a life of profound purpose, and this change of scenery is the necessary backdrop for the miracles that are currently in transit. You have prayed for clarity, and now that the path is moving, do not mistake the motion for chaos. It is the controlled, beautiful dance of a life lived in alignment with the divine. Every box you tape shut is a seal on a completed lesson. Every door you lock for the last time is a boundary drawn around a sacred history that will always be a part of you, but will no longer define your limits. Step out with the confidence of a child held by a parent's firm hand. The ground beneath your feet is holy, whether it is the ground you are leaving or the ground you are approaching. For I am the earth and the sky and the very breath that sustains you. Let us go now, toward the light that never fails. I know there are moments when you sit on the floor amidst the packing tape and the bubble wrap, feeling small and uncertain. In those moments, I am sitting there with you, leaning against the same bare wall. I am the one reminding you that your value is not wrapped in those boxes, and your security is not tied to the address on the label. I am expanding your capacity to receive. This move is a holy stretching. Like a tent being enlarged to cover more ground, your soul is being widened to encompass new joys. You have been comfortable in the familiar, but I am calling you to be comfortable in me, the unchanging one, amidst a world of constant flux. Think of the people who will enter your new home, the meals that will be shared, the tears that will be shed in a kitchen that is currently empty. I have already seen the warmth that will radiate from those rooms. I have already heard the laughter that will ring through the hallways. This is not just a relocation. It is an upgrade of your spiritual environment. I am peeling back the layers of your hesitation. Every time you feel the pang of "what if," replace it with the promise of "I am." What if the neighbors are difficult? I am your peace. What if the house has hidden problems? I am your provider. What if I am lonely? I am your constant companion. You are being woven into the fabric of a new community because you carry a specific hue of my love that is missing from that area. You are a light bearer, and I am simply changing the lampstand. Do not fret over the small things you cannot find or the tasks that remain unfinished at the end of the day. My grace is the margin for your mistakes. My strength is the energy for your exhaustion. When you finally walk through that new door for the first time as the owner or the tenant, do not look at the walls. Look at the space. That space is my invitation to you. It is a canvas where we will paint the next decade of your life in colors you haven't even discovered yet. The transition is the bridge, and I am the architect of every plank and every cable. You are safe. You are held. You are moving exactly where you need to be, at the exact pace I have ordained. Trust the process, for the process is me. Look now at the clutter, the piles of things you have gathered over the seasons. To your eyes, it is a mess of logistics and exhaustion, but to me, it is a shedding of an old skin. You are like the seed that must leave the comfort of the packet to find the richness of the soil. As you sort through the drawers, you are sorting through your own heart, deciding what of your past is a treasure and what is merely a weight. I am there in the heavy lifting, the moments when your back aches and you wonder if you have the strength to carry one more thing. I am the invisible hand beneath the crate, the steadying breath when the tape dispenser runs empty at midnight. You have been worried about the logistics of the overlap, those days where you belong to two places at once and feel as though you belong to neither. In that suspension, you are most purely mine. Without the walls of the old to define you or the walls of the new to settle you, you are defined only by my presence. Do not rush this nowhere time. It is here, on the road between the was and the will be, that I am whispering the deepest secrets of your identity. You think you are moving because of a job, or a price, or a need for more room, but these are merely the external winds I have used to fill your sails. You are moving because I have prepared a specific frequency of peace that can only be tuned in that specific coordinate on the earth. I have already spoken to the trees in your new yard. They are ready to provide you shade. I have already blessed the water that will run through the pipes. It will be a source of cleansing for you. Even the sounds of the new neighborhood, the distant hum of traffic, or the song of a bird you haven't heard before, are notes in a symphony I have composed for your rest. You fear the adjustment period, the weeks of looking for light switches in the dark and the disorientation of a different commute. But I am the light that never shifts. In the dark, I will lead your hand. In the confusion, I will be your compass. You are not just changing your address, you are expanding your territory of trust. I am asking you to believe that I am as good in the unknown as I was in the familiar. Remember the first time you walked into the home you are now leaving. It was a stranger to you once, too. It was full of shadows and questions. And yet, I filled it with laughter, with the scent of meals shared, with the quiet sanctity of your prayers. I will do it again, but with a different depth. This new home is not a replacement. It is an evolution. It will have corners for new dreams that the old house could not contain. It will have a stillness that you have been craving, a sanctuary where you and I can meet without the echoes of past burdens. When you feel the panic of the what-ifs, what if the roof leaks? What if the neighbors are loud? What if I can't afford the upkeep? Bring those thorns to me. I am the gardener of your life. If I lead you to a field, I will provide the rain and the tools to tend it. Your provision is not tied to the local economy or your own cleverness. It is tied to my inexhaustible storehouse. I have timed this move with the precision of the stars. Not a day early, not a day late. Every signature on every document is being guided by my hand. Even the delays that frustrated you were my shields, protecting you from things you could not see. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in the air of this transition. It is the scent of the new, the fragrance of a fresh beginning. You are being transplanted, not discarded. And like a plant moved to a larger pot, your roots will at first feel exposed, but soon they will find the space they have been longing for. They will stretch out, uncurled from the constraints of the old season, and you will find yourself growing in ways you thought were no longer possible. I am with you in the packing, the moving, and the unpacking. I am the peace that stands in the empty hallway and the joy that will fill the first box of books. You are safe. You are loved. You are going home. Think of the kitchen in the new place. It is not just a room for sustenance. It is a laboratory of my grace. There, you will prepare nourishment not just for your body, but for the souls who will sit at your table. I have already envisioned the faces of those who will cross your threshold, people who will enter with heavy hearts and leave with a lightness they cannot explain, simply because you have made a home for my spirit there. Consider the windows. They are the lenses through which you will watch the seasons change. I have positioned them so that the morning sun will remind you of my mercies, which are new every single day. When you look out at the new horizon, do not see a foreign land. See a land of promise. I have gone before you to plant seeds of favor in the hearts of the shopkeepers, the postmen, and the children who play on the sidewalk. You are an ambassador of my kingdom, and I am merely establishing a new embassy. The boxes may be heavy, but the burden of your future is light, for I am the one carrying it. You have spent so long being the anchor for everyone else, holding things together with your own strength. Now, let me be your anchor. Let the movement of this move be a dance, not a struggle. When you find yourself sitting on the floor of a room filled with crates, feeling small and overwhelmed, remember that I am the architect who sees the finished palace. You see the disarray, I see the destiny. You see the cost, I see the investment. You see the ending of a chapter, I see the opening of a volume. I am smoothing the path before the wheels of the truck. I am softening the hearts of those you will encounter. There is a specific peace I have reserved for your first night in that new space. A peace that transcends understanding. A quietude that will settle over your soul like a soft blanket. It will be the sign that you are exactly where you belong. Do not mourn the might-have-beens of the place you are leaving. Those were seeds that had to stay in that soil. In this new ground, I am planting something entirely different, something that requires this specific altitude, this specific light, this specific air. Trust my horticulture. You are my most prized planting. I will not let your roots wither. I will not let your spirit faint. The keys that will soon jingle in your hand are more than just metal. They are symbols of the authority I am giving you over this new season. Use them with joy. Open the doors with expectation. Close the doors on the fears of the past. This is your going out and your coming in, and I am the blessing over both. Do not fear the silence of the first few nights. That silence is not emptiness. It is the holding of a breath before a beautiful song begins. It is the quiet of a sanctuary before the first note of the organ. I will be in that silence with you, whispering the names of the dreams we will build together within these new walls. You are not just moving furniture, you are moving into a higher version of your own calling. Every box you unpack is an opportunity to say, "Thank you for this provision." Every room you clean is a prayer of dedication. I am in the logistics, the finances, and the emotions. I am the alpha of your departure and the omega of your arrival. Rest now in the assurance that your steps are not random. They are a choreography of love. Look around one last time at the walls that held your tears and your triumphs alike. They have served their purpose as a sanctuary for the version of you that is now ready to transcend. Do not weep for the wood and the stone as if they were the source of your peace. I was the peace within the wood and stone, and I am moving with you. As you carry your boxes out, notice how the light hits the floorboards, the same way it will hit the floors of your new sanctuary, though the pattern will be different. I am in the shifting shadows and the morning glow. Think of the garden you are leaving. The seeds you planted there, both literal and metaphorical, will bloom for another, and that is a gift of your legacy. In the new soil, I have already prepared the nutrients for the dreams you haven't even dared to name yet. I see the anxiety that pricks at your heart when you think of the neighborhood, the unfamiliar faces, the sounds of traffic you aren't yet used to, or the deep silence of a street you haven't yet walked. Know this, I have already walked those streets. I have already whispered your name to the wind that blows through the trees of your new yard. You are not an intruder in this new land. You are an invited guest, a steward appointed for such a time as this. When you feel the weight of the boxes and the physical ache in your back, remember that I am the strength in your sinews. This physical labor is a shedding of the old skin. With every heavy lift, you are releasing the burdens of the previous decade. You are leaving behind the what-ifs and the should-haves that haunted the hallways of the old house. The new address is not just a change of zip code, it is a change of frequency. You are tuning your life to a higher melody, one that requires more space for your heart to resonate. Think of the kitchen where you will prepare meals. I see you standing there, the steam rising from a cup of tea, the morning sun painting stripes across the counter. That peace you feel in that vision, that is my promise. It is not a fantasy, it is a preview. Do not let the logistics of the move, the paperwork, the deposits, the timing of the trucks, rob you of the holiness of this transition. Even in the chaos of bubble wrap and tape, there is a rhythm. Listen for it. It is the sound of a heart expanding. You might feel a sense of loneliness as you see your life packed into cardboard, looking so small and portable. But your life is not what fits in a box. Your life is the spirit that moves the box. I am breathing into your lungs as you navigate the narrow hallways. I am giving you new eyes to see beauty where others see a blank wall. As you drive toward the new horizon, do not keep looking in the rearview mirror with a heavy heart. The road ahead is paved with my intentionality. Every turn is a redirection toward a greater purpose. I have orchestrated the neighbors you will meet, the one who needs your smile, the one who will offer you a cup of sugar and a story of their own. Your presence in that specific house is a strategic placement. You are a lighthouse being moved to a new shore to guide different ships. Do not fear that you will lose your identity in the change. Your identity is anchored in me, and I do not change. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, whether you are in a studio apartment or a sprawling estate. This move is a pruning of the unnecessary. You are discovering what truly matters. As you unroll the rugs and hang the pictures, you are setting a stage for the miracles of the coming year. There will be laughter in these new halls that will startle you with its brightness. There will be deep, restorative sleep in the new bedroom that will heal the weariness of the long journey. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Even the delays are my protection. Even the hurried moments are my momentum. You are being transplanted into richer soil so that your roots can go deeper and your branches can reach higher. Feel the air of the new place. It is different, isn't it? It is fresh with the scent of a new beginning. I have swept the corners of this new dwelling with my grace before you even sign the papers. I have walked through every room, declaring it holy ground. Your home will be a place of refuge, not only for you, but for everyone who crosses the threshold. They will feel the difference the moment they step inside, though they may not have words for it. They will feel me. And you, my child, will be the host of that divine presence. So breathe. Let the tension leave your shoulders. The heavy lifting is nearly done, and the season of settling is about to begin. But settling does not mean stopping. It means anchoring so that you can grow. We are building something beautiful, you and I, brick by brick, prayer by prayer, moment by moment. The architecture of your life is in the hands of the master builder, and I never miscalculate a measurement. Every square inch of the new floor is a place where you will find me waiting for you. This is not just a house. It is the physical manifestation of the expansion I have been doing in your spirit for years. You are finally matching your outer world to the vastness of your inner world. Look now at the windows of this new dwelling. See how the morning sun will trace patterns across the floorboards, reminding you that light always finds a way to enter, even in the corners you haven't yet furnished. You have spent so many nights in your previous space wondering if you would ever feel this sense of belonging again. You carried the weight of those cardboard boxes like they were the sum of your burdens, but I was carrying both the boxes and the weight of your heart simultaneously. I saw the way you lingered at the door of the empty rooms you left behind, whispering silent goodbyes to the ghosts of who you used to be. Do not fear that you are leaving your history behind. You are simply distilling it. The lessons, the tears, and the laughter that rang through those old walls are not tied to a zip code. They are woven into the fiber of your being. As you stand in this new kitchen, imagine the meals that will be shared, the steam rising from cups of tea held in hands that are finally starting to stop shaking. I am in the tile you chose and the paint that is still drying. I am in the silence of the hallways before the furniture arrives. Do not let the logistics of the move, the paperwork, the finances, the physical exhaustion, blind you to the miracle of this transition. You are being transplanted into richer soil because your roots have outgrown the pot of your previous season. If I had kept you where you were, your spirit would have become bound, constrained by the expectations of a version of you that no longer exists. Here, there is room to stretch. There is room to breathe. I have specifically designed the acoustics of this home to carry the sound of your praise and the quiet sighs of your relief. When you lay your head down on that first night, even if the boxes are still stacked high and the rooms feel unfamiliar, know that I am the pillow beneath your head and the peace that guards your door. You worried about the cost, about whether you were making a mistake, and about the timing of it all. But look at how the doors opened, one after another, as if the house itself was reaching out to welcome you home. I orchestrated the timing because I knew when your heart would be ready to receive this gift. You are not just moving furniture. You are moving into a higher alignment with your purpose. There will be days when the house feels too big or the change feels too sudden, but in those moments, walk through each room and name the blessings I have placed there. This corner is for your creativity. This window is for your reflection. This porch is for your communion with the world I made for you. I am removing the thorns of the past and replacing them with the fragrance of a new beginning. You have been a nomad in your own mind for a long time, searching for a place where you didn't have to perform or pretend. This is that place. It is a sanctuary where the walls are thick enough to keep out the noise of the world's demands, but thin enough to let in the music of my voice. Every nail driven into these walls is a testament to my faithfulness. Every key turned in the lock is an act of trust. I am not just giving you a house. I am giving you a base of operations for the love I want to pour through you. Your neighbors will see the light in your windows and wonder why it looks different from the others. They won't realize it's not the wattage of the bulbs, but the glow of the spirit that dwells within the inhabitant. Think of the garden, even if it is yet unplanted or just a small patch of earth beneath a balcony. I have already seen the blooms that will rise there, the way the soil will yield to your touch when you seek solace in the dirt. I have timed the seasons so that the first spring in this new place will feel like a personal resurrection. You have spent so long in a winter of the soul, huddled in spaces that felt cramped by the memories of what you lost. But look at the height of these ceilings. They are a physical reminder that I have removed the lid from your expectations. You are allowed to dream again. You are allowed to plan for a future that lasts longer than a week. I heard every one of your whispers during the late nights spent scrolling through listings, and I was already working behind the scenes, speaking to hearts you will never meet and aligning circumstances you will never fully understand. This home is not a coincidence. It is a covenant. I want you to walk through the hallways and touch the walls, feeling the sturdiness of my promise. When the wind howls outside, this house will stand firm because its foundations are reinforced with the prayers you've whispered in the dark. I am in the very air of these rooms. I am the coolness of the tiles under your feet on a hot afternoon and the warmth that radiates from the hearth when the world feels cold. I am even in the in-between spaces, the closets where you will store your belongings, the attic where you will keep your treasures, the basement where you will store the tools of your trade. There is no part of this dwelling that is hidden from my grace. You have been worried about whether you can maintain this, whether you are enough for this new level of living. Let me carry that worry. I do not give gifts that I do not also give the strength to sustain. Your hands are capable because I have made them so. Your heart is wide because I have broken it open only to fill it with more of myself. This move is a shedding of an old skin that had become too tight. You might feel a bit tender, a bit raw, like a seedling that has just been moved from a small pot to the open field. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is the openness required for deep-rootedness. I am going to teach you a new rhythm of life here, a rhythm that isn't dictated by the frantic demands of doing, but by the peaceful flow of being. You will find that your sleep is deeper here. The dreams I give you in the night will be clearer, less cluttered by the static of the environment you left behind. I have cleared the spiritual atmosphere of this property. I have sent my messengers to stand guard at the gates and the doors. Nothing enters here that does not pass through my filter of love. This is your sanctuary of healing. If you find yourself weeping in the first few days, do not think it is sadness. It is the release of years of holding your breath. You can finally exhale. You can finally let down your guard. I am your fortress, and this house is the physical shadow of that spiritual truth. As you arrange your furniture, you are arranging the new priorities of your life. The table is not just for eating, it is for communion. The bed is not just for sleeping, it is for restoration. Every detail matters to me because you matter to me. I know which floorboard might creak and which window catches the best sunset. I was there when the architects drew the lines, and I was there when the first stone was laid. I knew then that it was for you. This has been waiting for you to grow into it. Take a long, slow breath. Feel the peace that transcends understanding settling into the very marrow of your bones. This is your yes. This is your well done. This is your welcome home. Watch the way the light begins to reclaim the corners of these rooms, chasing away the lingering shadows of your uncertainty. You have stood on so many thresholds in your life, many of them born of necessity or escape, but this threshold is different. This one was born of a promise. Do you remember that evening 3 years ago, sitting by the window of your old apartment, watching the rain streak the glass and feeling a hollow ache in your chest? You didn't even have words for it then. You just knew that the walls around you had become too small for the person I was calling you to be. I heard the silent frequency of that ache. I was already preparing this ground while you were still mourning the familiar. Look at the dust motes dancing in the afternoon sun. They are not random. They are a choreography of grace intended for your eyes only, a reminder that even the smallest particles of your life are under my watch. You worry about the boxes still stacked high, the chaos of the transition, the items lost or broken in the move. But I am more interested in what you are unpacking within yourself. With every crate you open, you are deciding what to keep from your history and what to leave at the curb. That old bitterness, the one you carried from house to house like a heavy, rusted heirloom, leave it packed. You don't need it here. The walls of this house are seasoned for a different kind of song. I know the weight of the keys in your pocket feels heavy, a symbol of new responsibility, but I want you to feel their lightness too. They are the keys to a kingdom of peace I have carved out specifically for your spirit. Notice the way the neighborhood settles into a hum as the sun dips below the horizon. The sounds of distant traffic and the rustle of the trees are not interruptions. They are the soundtrack of a world I am inviting you to engage with from a place of security. You are no longer a guest in your own life. You are the steward of this sacred geography. I saw you looking at the empty walls today, feeling a brief flash of intimidation at the blankness. Do not let it daunt you. The emptiness is not a void. It is a canvas. We will paint it together with the colors of your restoration. Remember the way your hands shook when you signed the final documents. I was holding your hands even then. I saw the flash of what if that crossed your mind. What if the roof leaks? What if I can't sustain this? What if I am not enough for this new beginning? My child, the roof may leak and the pipes may groan, but my presence is the foundation that no storm can crack. You are not sustaining this house. I am sustaining you within it. Think of the kitchen, where the light hits the floor at exactly 4 in the afternoon. That is my invitation to pause, to put down the bubble wrap and the tape, and to breathe in the reality that you are here. The steam from your first cup of tea in this space is like incense to me. It is the aroma of a heart finding its rest. You are learning the liturgy of the mundane, that washing a window can be an act of worship, that sweeping a floor can be a clearing of the soul. In your previous place, you were always bracing for the next blow, your ears tuned to the frequency of crisis. Here, I am retuning your heart to the frequency of peace. It will take time. Your nervous system is used to the old alarms, but as you walk these halls at night, feel the solidity beneath your feet. These floorboards do not just hold your weight, they hold my commitment to your growth. I have positioned you here like a lighthouse in this specific community. You don't have to strive to shine, you simply have to exist in the light I provide. Your neighbors will see it, the way your shoulders have dropped, the way your eyes have cleared. They will be drawn to the peace of this house, because it is a reflection of the peace I am perfecting in you. This move was never just about square footage or a better zip code. It was about a divine relocation of your identity. You are moving from a place of getting by to a place of becoming. I am in the details you haven't even noticed yet, the specific bird that will sing outside your window every morning, the way the air smells after a summer rain in this garden, the way the shadows of the leaves create patterns on your ceiling that look like ancient script. These are my love letters to you, written in the language of the physical world. Do not be afraid of the silence of these new rooms. It is a fertile silence. It is the quiet of a seed beginning to crack open. You have spent so much of your life performing for an audience of critics, but here, the only audience is me, and my applause is the gentle warmth of the sun on your face. As you arrange your books and your photographs, you are curating the story of our journey together. Every memory you choose to display is a milestone of my faithfulness. And the things you choose not to display, those are the things I have redeemed and washed white as snow. You are safe here. Let that truth sink into the marrow of your bones. There is no need to hide. There is no need to perform. Just be. Just breathe. This house is a physical shadow of the spiritual fortress I have always been for you. Now, it is time for you to inhabit the shadow and the substance alike. Welcome to the deeper rest. Welcome to the unfolding of the next chapter, where the ink is my grace and the page is your life, wide open and beautiful in this new light. I watched you as you paced the empty living room last night, your footsteps echoing against the bare hardwood, a sound that felt both like a departure and a declaration. Do not mistake the hollowness of an empty room for a lack of my presence. Rather, see it as the blank canvas of a new mercy. You worried about the dust motes dancing in the shafts of light, wondering if you would ever truly belong to this zip code, this street, this specific patch of earth. I tell you, I have been tilling this soil for you long before you signed the first paper. Every brick in these walls has been counted, and every breeze that rattles the window panes is a breath I have exhaled to clear away the stagnant air of your past. Do you remember the old house? The way the hallway light flickered, and how the pantry always smelled of the cedar chest your mother gave you. You carried the weight of that history for so long, and I know your shoulders ache from the transition. But look at your hands now. They are open. You are no longer clutching the keys to a kingdom that had grown too small for the person I am making you to be. Here, in this kitchen with the morning sun that hits the counter at precisely 8 o'clock, I am preparing a feast of quietness for you. You were afraid that moving further from the city would mean moving further from the pulse of life, but I am the pulse. I am the rhythm in the cricket's song outside your new bedroom window. When you look out at the yard and see the overgrown hydrangeas and the stubborn patches of moss, do not see a list of chores. See instead a metaphor for our work together. We will prune what is dead, we will nourish what is thirsty, and we will wait with holy patience for the blooms that only appear in the shade. Your neighbor with the blue door and the barking terrier. I have placed her there for a reason you cannot yet see. There will be a day, perhaps a rainy Tuesday in November, when a simple conversation over the fence will provide the very word of encouragement I have been whispering to your heart in secret. I am in the logistics of your life as much as I am in the liturgy of your prayers. When the movers scuffed the paint on the staircase, you felt a pang of frustration, a fear that the perfection of this new beginning was already marred. But I love the scuffs, my child. They are the marks of a life being lived, not a museum being curated. I am not interested in a pristine, untouchable sanctuary. I am interested in a home where your tears can soak the carpet and your laughter can shake the rafters. This move was not a mistake born of impulse, though the world might have told you to stay where it was safe and predictable. It was a response to the deep, tectonic shift I was causing in your spirit. You felt the calling to move, because you had outgrown the architecture of your old anxieties. You needed a ceiling high enough to hold your new dreams and a floor sturdy enough to support the weight of the glory I am pouring into you. As you unpack the boxes of sweaters and the mismatched mugs, Notice how some things no longer fit the aesthetic of this new space. It is okay to let them go. You are shedding the skin of a version of yourself that lived in survival mode. In this house, we are moving into a season of thriving. There is a specific corner in the upstairs loft, the one where the ceiling slopes and the air feels still, where I want to meet you in the early hours. We will sit there, before the world wakes up to demand things from you, and I will show you the blueprints for the peace I am building in your mind. You have spent years being the architect of your own security, and you are tired. Let me be the master builder now. I know the wiring of your heart better than any electrician knows the grid of this house. I know where the fuses blow when you take on too much stress, and I know how to ground you when the storms of life rattle the foundation. Do not fret about the distance from the familiar grocery store or the way the commute feels strange and long. Every new mile is a space for us to talk. Every unfamiliar turn is an opportunity to trust my navigation. You are learning a new geography, yes, but you are also learning a new way of being held. This house is a gift, but it is also a training ground. Here, you will learn that my provision is not tied to a location, but to my character. Whether you are in the valley or on the hilltop, my table is spread. But here, specifically here, I have tucked away hidden joys for you to find, like the way the sunset turns the attic walls to gold, or the specific smell of the rain on the stone path. These are my love notes to you, written in the language of matter and light. Rest your head tonight knowing that the locks are secure because I am the one who stands guard. The silence is not loneliness. It is the sound of my peace settling over your new domain. We have much to do and much to unlearn, but for now, just lean into the comfort of these new walls. They are wide enough for your growth and strong enough for your rest. You are not a guest here. You are the beloved inhabitant of a promise I have finally fulfilled. Tomorrow, as the first light creeps across the threshold of your bedroom, I want you to notice the weight of the air. It is heavy with my favor, not with the burdens you carried across the state line. You have spent years adjusting your posture to fit into spaces that were too small for the soul I gave you. But here, there is room to stretch your spirit until it touches the corners of my will. Do you feel the way the floor supports your weight without hesitation? This is a physical parable of my grace. I remember the sleepless nights in your old room, where the walls seemed to sweat with your anxieties and the ceiling felt like a lid on your prayers. Those days are over. I have given you a sanctuary where the very ventilation carries the fragrance of my mercy. Look at the kitchen, the heart of this dwelling. It is not just a place for sustenance, but a workshop for gratitude. Every meal prepared here is a chance to unlearn the fear of lack. You used to count every crumb, fearing the storehouse would run dry, but I am inviting you to a different rhythm. Here, we will practice the theology of the feast. I have placed a particular warmth in the wood of the table where you will sit. It is there to remind you that my companionship is tangible. We have much to discuss in the quiet of the mornings. I want to show you the blueprints I have for the life you are building inside these walls. There is a garden outside, currently sleeping in the transition of seasons, that mirrors the dormant dreams I am about to awaken in you. When you eventually place your spade into that earth, you will feel the resistance of the soil, but do not be discouraged. It is the resistance that builds strength. You are planting more than seeds. You are burying the ghosts of your past disappointments. Let them become the compost for your future joy. You were worried about the strangers who lived down the street, wondering if you would be the outsider again. But I have gone before you to weave your story into the fabric of this community. You are not here by accident or by a mere real estate transaction. You are a lampstand I have moved to a specific hill. The neighbors will see a light in your window, and they will not know it is me, not at first, but they will be drawn to the peace that emanates from your front porch. I want you to take a walk through each room and speak my name, not as a ritual but as an invitation. Let the echoes of holiness fill the hallways until the very insulation vibrates with my presence. You have a habit of looking over your shoulder, waiting for the past to catch up with you, but in this house, the past has no key. The internal locks I have placed on your heart are secure, and I am the only one who holds the master code. You are safe to be vulnerable here. You are safe to be still. I am teaching you a new vocabulary, one where the word stay is no longer a threat but a promise. For so long, your life was defined by the leaving jobs, leaving people, leaving versions of yourself that no longer fit. But this is the season of abiding. Can you feel the difference? It is the difference between a bird in flight and a bird in its nest. Both are my creatures, but only one can nurture the next generation. I have things I want to grow in you that require a stationary heart. Do not mistake this stillness for stagnation. In the quiet of this new home, your roots are traveling miles into the deep places of my wisdom. The unlearning will be the hardest part. You must unlearn the hunch in your shoulders that comes from carrying the world. You must unlearn the quickness of your speech that comes from trying to defend yourself. In these rooms, you have nothing to prove. I am your defense and your high tower. There is a closet in this house that I want you to dedicate to prayer, not because I am not in the other rooms, but because you need a place where the world cannot find you. In that small space, we will map out the territory of the years to come. You will find that the more you surrender to the walls of this house, the more your internal horizons will expand. It is a paradox of the kingdom. The more you are settled, the more you are sent. One day, this house will be full of laughter and the clinking of glasses and the voices of those who need the hope you have found. You will be the host, and they will be the guests of the grace I have poured into you. But for now, let it be quiet. Let the newness settle. Listen to the way the house finds its perfect alignment with the earth at night. I am aligning you too. I am bringing your desires into harmony with my purposes. Rest now, beloved. The morning will bring new mercy, and the house will be here to hold it all for you. We are just beginning this chapter, and the ink is still wet with promise. You are home, and I am with you, and that is all the security you will ever need.